The Washington Post had an article about the NFL draft.
Right.
And it's been bouncing around from city to city. Would you be psyched if the NFL draft was here in D.C.?
I mean, I guess.
I mean, it'd be a huge deal. It'd be a huge event. I don't know where would they put it. They have to have outside, maybe the mall.
I'm sure they would do something with the mall, like where they do the parades, right? Where they.
Yeah, I mean, 'cause you'd have to do
You
it
have to
outside.
do something like a whole setup. You have to have a whole stage.
It's crazy
You
how
want
many
that
people show
background.
up now.
I know.
When
This
did they
last
finally-
draft?
It was in New York for years.
Yeah,
at
this-
the Radio City Music Hall, and then they finally switched it. I can't remember the first city outside of New
I know
York.
one that got a lot of attention was Nashville. That was a big one.
Well, this last one was like record-setting. I mean,
Yeah.
it was unbelievable how many people there were.
Yeah, you got like 1 million people.
Did
It's
Cleveland
nuts.
do one? I feel like maybe Cleveland. Anyway, I guess it would be good for the city. For me, it would be kind of boring because I've already been in the city a million times. Like if I was going to go, I would rather go somewhere else. You know what I mean?
But there is
like
a buzz.
destination.
There's a buzz for just being at a draft. Like I kind of get it.
Yeah,
we did our show
like
from there twice, and it was exciting. It really was just to see
100%.
what was happening.
I like going to the draft. But
And
if
the
I was to
Commanders
go to
were heavily
draft,
in the
I would
mix
almost
in the
rather
first
go
one.
somewhere else.
I think you're wrong on this one. I think you would feel so alive down there on the National Mall doing a live broadcast with
From our hometown city.
Our hometown, the
You think I would have
entire
hometown
world.
pride?
I think you have a little bit if there's 1 billion people down there wearing Commanders jerseys and the whole NFL world's down
Maybe I
there.
would.
Roger Goodell and
Maybe I would.
I just wouldn't want to
Zillion
be in
broadcast
the
booths.
Travi. I just wouldn't want to be in the middle of all that madness.
well,
'cause-
okay. Well, I forget about
But
the
for the
inconvenience
media, I would agree. It would be a big
This
deal.
is tapping into Drab's wants to live next to a stadium. Drab has a fetish. You like to be near
No.
big events.
What do we?
You
Who doesn't
do.
like big events?
I
I mean, the
like
entire
it.
reason people want to build a Super Bowl or a stadium
stadium,
in D.C. is to
so you
host
get a
one
Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowl.
No, I think it would be cool. So the attendance this year was a record. 775,000 people showed up.
How
that
many?
was in Detroit. right?
775,000.
Is that for all of the days combined?
Yeah.
It's got to be, yeah.
But still, it was an absurd amount.
It's going to be in Green Bay next year. They're going to host it at Lambeau. So I assume it's going to be in the stadium. Maybe around the outside, but I mean Lambeau's kind of in a neighborhood,
Right.
so I assume it's going to be inside. And then, but if you're going to have 1 million people, I mean, where are you going to put it?
Oh, you think you got to do it like you do inaugurations, like you do the parades, something in that somehow, have
And
a
it's
stage.
going to be in Pittsburgh the year after. So I guess Washington wants it in 27.
Maybe Drab's right. I love the drafts.
Yeah.
But I think I like going. The cool part, like, was seeing the way they did it in Tennessee or the way they did it in Detroit, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we've done D.C. a million times.
Well, I think it was in D.C. years ago. It's only been in D.C. one time.
You get to showcase your franchise.
All right. You're trying to get me to have
Dude,
pride.
what happens if they do it right there on the Capitol steps? They figure that out.
Yeah.
Hey, have
Just
they
like
started the
inauguration.
Yeah.
All
have
right.
they started the
All
off season Hard Knocks? Remember there was going to be some sort of off season Hard Knocks?
It premieres in July.
Okay.
You dust off those Super Bowl trophies and prop them up on the stage.
Hey,
Definitely
all right,
dusty.
now you're getting me sized. Get those old trophies
Yeah,
out.
bring out all the old Redskins / Commanders. Go on the
great?
stage.
You know what's so great about that? Dan trotted those out all the time. He had nothing to do with them, and now he can't trot those out. Like, he has nothing to do with them, right?
He can never be
He can
seen
never
with
be
them again.
associated with those trophies. It was embarrassing when he did it the first time, but it's so great.
So the NFL
You're
draft,
sleeping on the parties too.
it's made
Oh, yeah.
stops. They started the nationwide tour in 2015. So it was 50 straight years in New York City. And then in 2015, they started
Chicago.
doing it. Since
I will say
2019,
They
it's
were
been
they were in back-to-back years in Chicago.
I'll say this.
last 5 years has been Nashville, Cleveland, Vegas, Kansas City, Detroit, and the next 2 years are Green Bay, Pittsburgh.
Hey, and then what if they let you the Commanders let you guys go on stage and announce like the 5th round pick?
I would want to do that. We'd get booed or something.
There we go.
Along those lines, though, Drab,
Let Cakes do that.
were you with us at that time? I'm not sure if you were, but when they had when we hosted the NBA All-Star game, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
That was very cool.
Because we were out at parties and
we were
bars.
on out, and we were bumping into Mark Cuban and Dirk Nowitzki or
And
whatever.
Steve Nash was out there.
That I liked.
God,
So
what
maybe
year,
you're
what
right.
year was that?
Maybe I would like it.
Was that 15 years ago?
At least 15 years ago.
It was either
I think it was the early
I think
2000s.
it was either 2002 or 2006 because I remember I asked Elton Brand a celebrity shootout question. What is the capital of the United States? He went to Duke, and he didn't know he was Duke.
Did he have a guess?
I can't remember if he had a guess. And we still play the clip.
Why you gotta do him like that? Why you gotta embarrass him?
You don't
twice
mind me
now?
ripping a dookie?
Did he say New York? Or?
No, but he made the
Isn't he
All-Star
like the
team.
general manager now.
He made the All-Star team
He's high up.
2002 and 2006.
Maybe it was 2006.
And I remember I had Andre
You
Miller.
might
We
be
play
right,
his.
Trav.
I don't know clip.
Maybe
I
I have
also
more.
think-
Maybe
I
I have more
think-
pride in it than
You know, you guys mentioned when you guys went to New York. I really think that the NFL draft should be the new Radio Row because the Super Bowl, only 2 cities have a connection to it. Mm-hmm. Everybody, every city, every team loves the NFL draft. It's the sign of new hope, new beginnings.
Well, what they did have a radio row when we would do
They
the
did, yeah.
draft.
They should bring it back and make it like a huge.
Oh, they
focus.
don't do it anymore.
I'm sure they do. I mean, they do it for
Yeah.
anything. But it's
Yeah.
But
usually
like the
just a small collection of people.
Yeah, but when you think of the Super Bowl, you think about all the legends that are trotted around doing interview after interview.
I see what you mean.
But it has been in, the big cities. I mean, Chicago and Philly and Vegas
Well,
and
if
New
you're
York.
gonna do big cities, I do have pride.
At
that
some
we're a
point, you
big
got to
city.
throw Washington a bone.
I have
it looks
pride
like-
that we're a
every
big
every city can host a draft.
Of course.
Yeah, it's gotta
unlike
figure out where you're
unlike
gonna
the
do it.
Super Bowl.
Right.
Yeah,
you
you
don't
do.
have to have some special stadium.
Are they
No.
alternating back and forth from AFC cities to NFC cities? Because I know the next two, it's. I just wonder if it's
No, they-
continuing to alter.
Yeah, have
No.
Detroit,
It's just in
and Green
Detroit.
Bay.
So.
Have you
okay.
That's
not what they
have you analyzed the cities that they've chosen? Like, is there a theme of these cities that they've chosen so far outside of New York?
Doesn't look like it.
I mean, they're just
You know
big
what I mean?
cities.
Like, what are they?
I don't know what the criteria is.
Yeah.
By the way, the NBA All-Star Game was at the MCI Center in 2001.
Right.
So maybe Brand was there for
22
all
years
rookie
ago.
game.
Nashville can't be any more different than Detroit. I feel like.
Right.
Maybe
And
there's
Cleveland.
Yeah, they had Vegas.
Except the weather.
But I'm thinking, are they
They're kind of
And
like
they're obviously
blue-collar
not.
cities.
blue collar cities? There's a theme there.
Cities that don't get the Super Bowl.
Maybe that's
Yeah,
what
this
it
is this is like
that's a good idea.
It's like a consolation prize.
That's right. All right, so then we're in.
It says Pittsburgh.
Well, Vegas got it.
Pittsburgh is going to be the 10th NFL city to host it. So
Right.
again, Chicago, Philadelphia, Arlington, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, Cleveland, Vegas, Kansas City, Detroit, and then Green Bay.
Then,
I don't know if there's a big theme there. They're just going through the NFL.
no, they're just NFL cities.
yeah.
Green Bay next year with the possibility of bad weather and even in late April, that could be dicey.
In late April, you think they'll have bad weather?
Well, I'm not saying snow, but it's Green Bay. That could
Same thing
it's
for Same
unpredictable.
thing for Detroit and Cleveland.
True, certainly Detroit, and it was fine for Detroit.
Right. I mean, do we? Really,
I think a lot of people would go.
So DC?
Oh, 100.
Oh, yeah.
You get a million
Oh, yeah.
people.
You didn't
Dude,
think
there's
of
a,
the
I
NFL.
think, there's a lot of people that travel for it now.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm actually
Get
I'm
crazy
stunned.
people.
I'm stunned at the amount of people that travel just for the draft.
Well, it's become such
It's a big party.
massive party. Yeah, exactly.
I
People want
honestly, I
any
think
excuse to party.
Yeah, people want any excuse to pummel beer.
Pummel beers. It's socially acceptable to day drinking.
and possibly get on TV.
And there's going to be
Also-
TV cameras there for 3 days.
Also, and NFL FOMO. People have NFL FOMO. People miss tailgating.
That's the thing. The draft, unlike the Super Bowl, is like 3 days. So it's actually even better.
3-day party.
It's actually even better.
It's crazy how it's changed.
You know?
Because I remember when we did the show, you would have that pack of like Jets fans watching the draft, and you had some people,
Yeah,
but
you'd have like a couple guys paint their face. And,
This was the year to go to. We kind of botched it because we had so many picks for DC. It would have been just endless hype for 3 days in a row.
I'm up for the traveling road show. If people want to go again, I'm not trying to travel a lot, but I'm up for going.
it's always fun. I'm always down for a road trip.
They literally stopped sending us because we complained so much. Then it became a cost issue.
It's a cost issue.
The cost issue at this point.
They're
but
not going to pay for us to go to
I
another
know
city.
they got tired of us bitching.
Correct.
We'd complain. We'd say we want to go, and then we would go and bitch.
And that
the
wouldn't
whole
stop.
time. It probably wouldn't stop. It's hard to. It's hard. You are what you are.
I love how you say we.
Okay, JP.
Yeah, you be the only one.
JP never complained.
I
Cakes
admit,
didn't really complain.
I miss doing expenses.
All right, well, we'll keep you updated. Hopefully, Washington will get a chance to host an NFL draft.
Here we have-
Still going to be a couple years till it happens.
We have a $600 dinner. How do we expense that?
Exactly.
Always pretended like Cakes would always be at a casino, and we just say, "Oh, Cakes was at dinner with us."
Right. We'd have to add extra people.
Cakes only travels if there's a casino within a couple hours. But if there's one within a couple hours, he'll go.
He'll find it.
Yep.
It's a freaking dog track to go to.